Rent is due and you gotta eat. So this week alone, I have received several private messages from my viewers out there. And if you are one of them, I hope this video helps you, where you are literally having a hard time budgeting money for groceries to feed yourself, your family, or if you're an empty nester, you have 2 people to feed. And I get it. And I don't mean to be like the lady that keeps harping on struggle meals and let's survive the economy, but we are in it, folks. If you are in the United States, maybe globally, I don't know, I live in the US, we are feeling the effects of the dollar that we've been stretching is about to just snap in half. I actually saw a video not too long ago where someone said that there was like a trending Google search on how to pay your mortgage. And like I said at the beginning of this video, rent is due, mortgage is due, and you still got to eat. So I'm going to show you some things that might be creative for you. Maybe you've never heard of it. Maybe you know of it. You still eat it like I do. And these are just budget-friendly ideas to get a hot meal in your belly. And if you have like dietary restrictions or you're like, oh my gosh, it's too many carbs and where's this, where's that? Look, when you are struggling to put food on the table, sometimes that just is an afterthought. You are just trying to get 1 square meal a day within a budget, and I completely understand. So if you have some recipe ideas or meal ideas that might help someone, comment down below. But here we go. Here are some ideas that you might find helpful. I would buy the ingredients for these very simple and delicious green enchiladas, and it would last me for days. So if you needed to go to the store to get the main ingredients for this, this is probably the average pricing. $2.48 for the salsa, $1.97 for the shredded cheese because it's cheaper than the actual wheel of queso fresco, and tortillas. If you have the ingredients to make them fresh, you definitely can save money. And I just sort of totaled up these ingredients to make this. It comes out to $5.63. And let's say you need cooking oil to fry the tortillas, then that's another $1.88. So that's just to give you an idea of what it would cost you to make this meal for 4. So today I'm working with queso fresco. I have, it's probably about 6 ounces or so, and some onion definitely works. I'm also going to be using store-bought salsa verde, and this is the mild one. But when I was broke and single, I used to buy the small cans that were like 2 for $1. And it was very economical for me. So today I have the whole jar. So I'm going to go ahead and crumble the cheese and put the filling together, and I'm going to prep my corn tortillas and get started. So to prep the tortillas, I have a pan over a low heat. I'm adding cooking oil, and I'm going to pass my corn tortillas through the hot oil to make them soft and pliable and easy to roll, and they won't break when you go to roll the enchilada. So I want to give a little backstory to this. So when I was in my 20s, 20 plus years ago, I was single, working full time, taking night classes in college, doing the best I could, and this was a budget-friendly meal at the time. I remember the salsa was like two cans for $1. The cheese was about $1.99 on a good day. A pack of corn tortillas, that was around 79 cents. And, you know, with those 3 ingredients, I had very simple enchiladas that would last me for days if I rationed it just right. So I know groceries and prices of groceries are a lot different than they were 20 years ago. So, you know, it used to cost me less than $5 to buy these ingredients to last for several days during the week. Now, maybe around $10. $8 to $10. So it's still pretty economical. Now, I know it doesn't compare to grocery prices from 20 years ago, but I just wanted to share a simple meal that got a once broke single girl through hard times. So once my corn tortillas are warmed through, I'm just going to start putting them in the same pan, and I'm going to start filling them with that crumbled queso fresco and onion filling. The onion is optional, but I love cheese and onion enchiladas. So simple and so good. And I'm just going to fill this up, roll it out, do that for all 3. Now I'm going to add a little bit of my green salsa, or the salsa verde, right on top. And I even rationed those 2 cans. I'm telling you, I really portioned things out so that this would get me through the work week. Sometimes I had to budget probably like $15 for a 2-week grocery run. So the salsa is already sizzling and you plate it up. And then I would add just a small sprinkle of queso fresco on top. And these were those budget, delicious, wonderful green enchiladas that I would make weekly to get me through some hard times. So for some of you, you have well-stocked pantries with seasonings and spices. You always have garlic, onion, things like that. But for some of you, you are probably going to buy it for the first time. And I just sort of wanted to gauge or give you an idea of what it would cost if you are buying these ingredients. Of course, there's always where prices vary from wherever you live as opposed to where I live. But this is probably just to give you a ballpark of what I'm spending if I'm recreating these meals right now. So rice and beans, a lot of you saw this video. I will link the full video in the description below. But here are some things in my local area. If I purchase the Knorr brand chicken bouillon powder, I get a free bag of rice. If you're just buying rice, this is the price that I would pay for 1 pound of rice. You can buy the blocks of bouillon. Here I have a bag of beans for less than $2. You could also buy onion for 67 cents. Actually, that's pricey in my opinion. And 50 cents for 1 bulb of garlic. Again, these prices. I like ground cumin, so it's right over $1 for that. And here I just sort of tallied it up and it's $6.33. And again, if you're toasting rice and cooking oil and you don't have that, you'd have to factor that in. Here I've made a delicious pan of Mexican style red rice. Again, check the description for recipe video links. And you've got your perfect Mexican red rice. Well, at least I think it's perfect for today. I'm gonna put a scoop. Done. Avocado. One-handed because like that. And this is my meal and it's so good. I grew up eating this. Let me show you why bean and cheese burritos are top tier. Okay, so here again, here are some local current prices for beans. Here I have Oaxaca cheese because this is the cheapest that I can find. Self-rising flour and some hot water will make some tasty soft flour tortillas. The fresh tomato, and here jalapeno, onion, garlic. Those are staples in my home, but some of you might need to buy that. So here at this point, I've sauteed jalapeno, onion, garlic, and tomato. Okay, going in with the beans. And these are leftover beans that I made a big pot. And you can make beans for the week. Ooh, still kind of frozen. Crank up the heat. I'm just gonna let these simmer cook before I start to mash them. I do want a little bit of salt. Season your beans however you like. So after they simmer, you just want to give them a mash and make delicious refried beans. Add salt and seasoning to your preference. It's very simple and budget friendly. And making fresh homemade flour tortillas is another budget friendly item that you can make for a meal. And be sure to check the description below because I will put the links to these recipe videos that go into detail on how to recreate all of these dinners or meals that you can try. And if you're working with self-rising flour and hot water, you can still create air pockets and soft flour tortillas at home. Or you can always follow my original recipe from my cookbook or my other recipe videos. It all works. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, I'm gonna take my beans and cheese. If you want more beans, there we go. Bean and cheese burritos, so easy, so good. So you can serve 2 to 3 per person, and it is a delicious, satisfying meal. Next up, soapita, and one bag costs 50 cents. Tablespoon of cooking oil. Don't want to burn this. And then your pasta stars going in. And now you're going to toast. Take your time doing this. Our little bit of onion. Now we're going with some garlic. Okay, heaping tablespoon of tomato paste. You could also skip the tomato paste and just use chicken bouillon powder with tomato flavor in it. With our water. That's the Maggi chicken bouillon powder, 1 tablespoon. Give that a quick mix. Okay. Add a mix. Bring to a rapid simmer, boil, and then you're going to cook for like 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to cover so it can come up to boil quicker. Ooh. So this is done. Okay, so a delicious bowl of sopita with 2 crispy homemade quesadillas, tacos dorados with cheese. This bowl and these 2 crispy tacos with cheese, less than $1, 82 cents. Amazing. So that's the video. Those are some ideas that I think that can get you fed on a budget. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see more videos like this. And I know I always say that, but I think we need videos like this now more than ever. And I completely understand for those of you that kind of have like economy grocery price talk fatigue and you're just so over it. I understand, but I do have an audience out there that is always looking to stretch $1 and get creative in the kitchen. And I can be pretty resourceful, especially with my upbringing and even what I do now for my own family. So if you just want to see more content like that and you want just budget-friendly tips or things that you can grocery shop for that will help you stretch the already overstretched dollar, I will try to help. So wherever you are watching in the world, I wish you well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.